Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Foundry. It's episode number 5. I wasn't sure if there was going to be another episode of this or not, but I'm enjoying playing the game, so I want to come back and play the game some more. So I found some time to sit and play the game, and so here we are. I don't even have a clue what we're going to do today because the last big focus was red science, and we've done it, and we've hooked it up. So I suppose the first thing that we could do, the obvious thing to do here is we only have 2 labs. I could turn it into 4 labs, and we could easily double what we have. That would make perfect sense because we seem to have plenty of science to speed up the process here. So yeah, sure. Let's start with that task. I don't know exactly how much we need here, but I know it's going to be okay. We'll start there. We need 2 more labs, so let's do that next. All right, so 2 more research panels or stations. That is, we need 4 intake guys. Let's do that. I think I'm going to do the red a little different this time. Okay, and for our red, we start there. We're going to need to split off back here a little bit, and that's fine. But we also need to draw blue in over here. Okay, that's one side. Not demolish. I meant to rotate. There's the rotate. Picking those 2 up. I'm going to stay on this side of this. I do not know for sure if you can still pass over. I think we can still pass over, as we did before, and we did, and ooh, the red science is only this far. Already we're having that much trouble. Do we need to double it then? Or it's just a slow process to build it up. Could be the case, but my guess is our red science production is going to have to go. We're going to have to double it if it's going to be enough. I mean, we're already increasing rates here as is. Alright, so that's going to set up the tunnel. I need to figure out how far over we need to get, which will be, this is minus 32. Okay, so minus 32. Oh, there we go. Mining speed suddenly sped up. Okay, I'm now standing in minus 34 right there, so that's minus 33, and this will be minus 32. Yes. Alright, let's go ahead and pick our next research item. We should be pretty dang close to whatever's next for hooking that up. But inventory size, character crafting speed, that's going to be more useful at this point. We'll go ahead and turn that one on. We are about a block off on that, but as long as we can come back out this way, it's fine. It is okay. So red science coming in. Okay, now we just need to link up the blue. Do I want to do it after? Do I want to split them? Okay, well it does just fit into that space, so... Alright, we have doubled our rate of research. The research rate is up. However, it looks like that blue science and red science rate also needs to be increased. Different research projects are going to take a different amount of time, so that there's no given. Like this takes 30 seconds to process one, but other things are going to take, you know, a very different amount of time, and that's not necessarily going to, you know, the math and might not math for one thing versus the next. It's hard to say where, what, how we're all going with that. Still got one biomass burner tucked in. So, do you have anything new for me? Still no new tasks. Not quite sure what it is we need to do to get him active again. Tell us what to do next. But in the meantime, obviously, just keep growing and expanding. Okay, well I see the capacity is 100, and that one has 100 stored up, but this one's suddenly empty. 2 minutes to create one? Is that what it is? Output? No, 2 per minute. There you go, not 2 minutes for one. 2 per minute. So it takes 30 seconds to produce one. 4 per minute, which is the exact rate for those, right? No, it's 30 seconds per with 4 of them. So actually, we're looking at a scenario where we are only producing half of what we could be using here. We weren't making just enough for that if it was always active. But again, different research projects are going to come out different on how that adds up. But we could absolutely use doubling what we have here, and I'm wondering if I just want to do that, if that would be smart to do. As for this one, it's the same rate. So here, 4 of them actually does add up, as long as we have enough coming in. This one does not. No foundation. Shoot. Okay. Wow. So easy with one more space. One more space backed up gave me the room I needed. All I had to do was scoot back one spot. Remember, it was located here, which did not give me the room to be able to circle around and come back on it. But I still had another option on this one. Even from there, I could have come out, turned here, and then immediately gone up there, and then just circled around and down. Really wasn't that hard. Just had to be smarter than the average bear. Alright. In fact, I might even just... I might do away with the blue research that is here and move our research over by the red and do the blue and the red there at that quadruple level, and then just transport it into the area. Not the hardest thing to do. We just need to bring it essentially right to here. So bring it from there. We can do the same underground thing that we've done with the red and bring blue over here. So we'll set it up first, and then as soon as it's connected here, I can repurpose these two. I'm okay with the 30 seconds though. I'm okay with that rate of production. We don't have to be crazy fast here. It's all right. to be casual. Remember, this is supposed to be beginner to mastery, not massive scale. So I am seeing at least some flaws in the design here. Right, the way we have it set up, this one, it's full. It can't put anything out. Why? Because the line's already full. These ones are busy, are active, are empty. Why? Because they're further up the line. And if the line's empty, they're going to put something out. So they're constantly adding to the line, and now that particular spot, right, as you follow, is occupied, and the line just fills up more and more and more. And we're only pulling so much off the line right now, so it does get backed up. We have plenty more to use, and we're definitely not maxed out over here on, you know, any capacities or anything along those lines right now. But anyway, let's reset up our blue. Speaking of, I need to know what is that recipe. Once again, it's just machinery parts and Technum rods. The rods we already have coming from this way, and the machinery parts are just simply from plates. So pretty dang easy to do. One plate every 1.5 seconds for the machinery parts. This is not balanced. Takes 30 seconds. The rods are easy though, because they're just straight input, but it takes 10 machinery parts, which means one machinery part can do double. So we're going to need 2 machinery part stations to feed into 2 Blue Science Pack stations. How I want to do this. We'll do 2 inputs there and there for the machine parts. And I'll do 2 structures nearby. And all we need to do is go double. Ooh, that's all. And all the splitters I have for this. See, that's another thing we need to just get made. Okay. Now, don't forget that you need to have these guys. Okay, and we can do that. And am I leaving enough room? Plenty. Perfect. Right, now, for these, we've made it quite clear where our buildings can go now. These are go down the middle on both of these. Machinery parts and machinery parts. All right, that left a lane because we're going to want to use that lane to input these 2 machines anyway. That handles our intake for both. And that brings our machinery parts in for all 4. Now, easier task of just running intakes for these guys. I can save some space with putting one here. And we can run it on back to here, which means we need to have a splitter there. With our little bridge, we have plenty of room for splitters. That takes care of one of them. Right, we are going to need to do the same here. Splitter. Run it this way. Oh, space back. Okay. There, and splitter. Excellent, that's 3. And that should do it. Alright, blue science, much easier. I mean, obviously it's the first one, but now it's much more optimized than before. I would imagine that our rods and plates are still going to be just fine. Though, I mean, this is not looking like a full line right now, is it? That's not a full line. That is a full line. We're just pulling so much off of it that by the time we get there, I'm wondering if... Okay, no alarm bells going off. This is just idea territory. So what we're gonna do now So what we have now is the first 4 of these guys are going to feed, well, really both lines, right? But this line is going to bypass the first few stations, which means we're going to start using those last 4 a bit more. So it's going to bypass this pull off and this pull off, and then it's going to come back together again, and we'll see here shortly. That's full, but watch, these guys are going to start filtering into that, and you're going to see how we're getting 3? Bam. Now we're starting to get a full line. So we are back to getting a full line. I wonder if I want to feed this around a little bit further. Actually, don't even need this particular one. We could. So now as it feeds off into 2 different directions, feeding in is 2 different sets. Now, clearly this one, not as full, but it still helps refill the line. And it's going to start utilizing these guys a little bit more at a much more rapid pace. Now, our blue science production is definitely happening. They are working on it. Everything's functioning. But we need our outputs, and then we are going to run this, I think, probably right do I want to run it right beside the red? So, I do like the idea of syncing these up together. I think I can resort the space underground. So we're gonna do this. We are gonna do this. Here. So I'm going to leave these 2. Now I'm here. I'm leaving them because the red science comes off the line first. Blue science comes off the line second with the plates, which means the rate of blue science production is a little bit lower. Now, the rods come off for the blue first, so maybe it affects both of them equally. Maybe not. Probably does. in the end, it probably does end up balancing out. One's more rod dependent first, one is more plate dependent first. Therefore, your production rate ends up being the same in the end. I think I could still end up repurposing this. I don't have to keep that one, but we do want to sync up with this thing, which means we need to dig down here. That's another research done. Lights 2. When I'm really just going down the line. The core 3 will be done now. This one's happening very, very quick, so I'll kind of stick around and look at what's next, which appears to be explosives. And then we'll have another 4 or so after that. So we're nearly done with our blue research / red research categories. One of these guys is going to open us up into our next science pack, which is definitely not happening here. Inventory sees green. These all involve either green or green and yellow. There's the green science pack, so you can see what direction we're kind of headed with that, with the explosives coming up in just a few seconds. So the ore scanner for mineral rocks and the concrete production will all kind of lead us into the green. So we do have a bit more in terms of just the blue and red. The explosives just kind of get us going in that direction. There we go, so that one is done. Assuming these are also, yeah, assembler 2s already, or refinement. Oh, tier 2 rods and plates, huh? Oh, okay. So that's a good thing. I did not know that this was going to be a thing. So right now, 1 ore rubble makes 1 plate or 1 rod. Or refinement will give us 2 makes 3, so we'll have a 50% increase on our output. And that's definitely a good thing, but it's made in advanced smelters. Oh, it can be made in regular smelters, it just takes longer. I see. But that's an obvious good benefit, one you want. Piping is coming up, okay. Plover tool. Sure. Tanks, high voltage grid energy already. Pumps, power poles coming in. Yeah. Okay, so we do have some game changers ahead of us, huh? And we're working on that explosives right now, but we do have these couple down the tree, and they lead towards the green. But I think you definitely want to get... I mean, are we still looking at just blue and red for all of these guys? Yes. Yeah, this whole network is all still blue and red, so I want to clean up all of these before we get into our green science packs. So there's 3 there, and another 7 there. So we've got 10 more research to complete before we really even get into our next thing. Curious about the minerals, but I really want that ore refinement sooner rather than later, because that's just an immediate, hey, we're getting 50% more. By the way, right now it makes 1. one every 3 seconds. So we're going to go to every 6 seconds. So it doesn't speed it up, but it does add that 50% more. No active research as we have finished the explosives. Man. Oh man, I got this whole row above it too. There's 4 more there. Yeah, we still have a bit of research to go. I think that's going to end up doing it for this episode, though. So we have increased our production rates for the science to speed up the science, and you can see there's plenty of science on the line now. How are we doing with that red science? It is not going terribly fast. I'm researching pretty heavily, pretty quickly. A couple of them have been faster. You see how quickly the blue has gotten back to there, especially when I still have those 2 other active ones. So it wouldn't be a terrible idea to at least add a little more red, maybe not doubling the production to 8, but getting it to like 1 more set. These lines are very much not full though. Either line now, which makes me think this one's probably empty, and it is. So these guys are pumping them out as fast as they can. Or realistically, one of the other options is, I think we have, well, it depends on which one is it. This is the xenoferrite. That's technum. I was hoping that was xenoferrite. I was going to say you can tap into that, set up another smelting station, somewhere right about here, and feed another line in to it. But increase mining force research. I haven't done that yet, huh? So regular xenoferrite accessible is here. Is doable. It's a much longer run. Clearly the rods are good. The rods are having absolutely no problem keeping up. Plates are tapped, slowing our production rate down quite a bit. So that's the next task for me. Even though there's things I want to automate, right? So I don't have to craft in hand. Things I want to do for that. I want optimal research. And right now we don't have it. This is going to help a bit though. New task from C3BB. It was the steel making that put that one off, huh? Alright, well now I have an obvious way to end the episode. What you have for me? Oh, you want the high voltage power now? I'm not ready for that yet. I don't need that just yet.
Corporate guidelines say we're using suboptimal energy generation methods. Only steam turbines provide maximum efficiency. We need to fix that.
That's the next task. For him, for them, but not for me. Yeah, obviously there's more left here, but this is not, it's finite, right? So even though I could throw more around it, I want it to last a little while. Right, you throw too much around it, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. And then what happens when it's gone? Right, we want to have the next one tapped into well before we run that risk of running out. But these guys are barely producing. They are producing, but barely. That one's not producing anything right now. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Does it take 10? Oh, it does take 10. And it's the machine parts, which is itself getting held up by... Yeah, see, there's a lot of delay. A lot of delay. It's a 1-to-1, but there's a definite delay. I want a full line. Your refinement, that's going to help us a bit. That is going to help us a bit, but... off in this direction is our next location that we are going to want to pull from. We're going to want to get out there and get it established, but at the same time I want to run power to it. I don't want to have to create a separate power for that one, which means we need we need to run a line kind of as we go towards it. Alright folks, well, that's going to do it for this episode. I think that's what's in store for the next one, is to double our plate production and get that xenoferrite off in the distance back there. I'm not sure if that's the actual hill. If we're looking, there's like a couple. Yeah, that should be. I think we're probably looking at these hills right here, and we want to tap into that one. So yeah, back behind the forest. So back there. It's not that far away. Not that far away. It is a process. It's a definite process, and we'll just kind of link it up along here. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.